So the question becomes, how do the Browns get back to the defense they had a couple of years ago when they were really good, among the top 5 in the NFL? That was asked of Jim Schwartz earlier today.
Things that end drives. Third down percentage had dropped from number 1 from the year before, and then takeaways. Both of those things obviously end drives. We're trying to get off the field with no points allowed. And those are the things that we're putting a big emphasis on this year. We emphasized them last year, but those are areas that we have to improve.
So how do you do that, though, is this question?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different things. Turnovers go a lot of different ways. We work a lot of different techniques for turnovers. A lot of turnovers are because of rush on the quarterback, and we got to improve there from last year. Get our rush percentage up. Being around the quarterback is a good formula for takeaway. Team speed is is a good formula for taking the ball away, and physical contact, which we're not working on right now. But guys that play physical nature of football, they have a habit of forcing turnovers.
And Tim, if you look at it, they went out and got a linebacker, Schlesinger, physical. That was their second overall pick. They got a physical guy to play defensive tackle in Mason Graham. So the top 2 picks in the draft kind of tell you that's what they thought they needed on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, no question about it. Just that I think that physical edge is something every defense could always use. And, with Mason Graham drafting 5th overall, they got the guy who certainly was the best player, I think, available at that time, and a guy who could be a true game wrecker in the middle. Obviously, with Graham's just unique ability, putting him next to Myles Garrett, you would hope that the two of them can really, that Graham can really tap into the attention defenses are giving Myles early on in the season, and then really take advantage of it to the point where you can't really double too much on Myles because then you're worried about Graham. But getting back to the things that is going to make the Browns defense successful, I think part of it comes down to even the offense staying on the field a little longer. I saw the tweet from Warren Sharp basically saying that 70% of the Browns' drives last season ended on a punt or a turnover. That's way too high a number. And also because they were dead last in the NFL in scoring. I mean, that just means teams can kind of take the air out of the ball and run it more. And naturally, when you're running more, your pass rush doesn't nearly have as many opportunities to make plays, to get sacks and force those turnovers. So I think it comes down to the idea of complementary football. Yeah, the defense took a step back in 2024. I don't think anybody thought it was going to play as well as it did in 2023. But I do think, just having a little more help on offense just to take some pressure off of that defense, let them play a little more free, not feel like they have to hold teams to 10 or fewer points to have an opportunity to win. I just think that's going to be something that potentially helps this defense going forward.
So when you look at the defense, clearly it's the strength of the team because there are so many questions on the offensive side of the ball. What are you most concerned about defensively when you look at the Browns' defense?
I think it's the safety play. Right? Outside of Grant Delpit, you don't really know what you're going to get back there. Obviously, we saw Ronnie Hickman really make some contributions as a rookie, and the Browns haven't gone out and signed a big name safety. I know they got a couple of depth pieces, guys who could start, Damontae Kazee, Rayshawn Jenkins. They got a UDFA and Donovan McMillan. But really, outside of Delpit, again, just not a lot of proven commodities. And this was a team that really lacked that true center field type deep safety who could patrol down the field, make sure nothing gets behind him, and allow Grant Delpit to play closer to the line of scrimmage and play more downhill football, which is where I think he is at his best. And if you have good safety play, it can also help out the corners, who I do think also need to step up. Martin Emerson took that step back in 2024. Greg Newsome's on a contract year. You know what you're getting from Denzel Ward. Obviously, hopefully for the Browns, he can stay healthy. And if he misses a couple games, then Newsome and Emerson can kind of pick up the slack. And with that secondary in general is going to be a question mark for me. And particularly, like I said, when it comes to safety, someone is going to have to step up opposite Grant Delpit to really, provide some more cover deep down the field in that passing game.